Hello, my fellow subscribers. I am back after a nice little 2-ish week hiatus. Happy New Year, happy holidays, Merry Christmas. I know it's coming super late, but of course, the first upload of 2022. You guys already know it had to be an Atlanta Falcons video. Come on, it is week 17. It's going on to week 18, the first week 18 the NFL has ever seen. And man, oh man, do I have a lot of news. Of course, this is the analysis of the Buffalo Bills game, plus other news, things that I think the Atlanta Falcons should do. It's going to be a great video. It's going to be pretty exciting. I think the Atlanta Falcons have an exciting future. However, they did lose this game. But of course, before I get into this video, make sure to like, subscribe, turn on that notification bell. You guys help me out a little bit. And without further ado, let's get right into this video. Now, of course, the Atlanta Falcons are now suffering from 2 straight losses after taking an L in Week 17 against the Buffalo Bills by a score of 29-15. Now, of course, through a decent point of the game, it was actually really good. The Falcons were keeping up. However, ever since that touchdown by Matt Ryan, or that presumed touchdown, Matt Ryan slid into the end zone, actually didn't score, got a taunting penalty, which caused the Falcons to have to settle for 3. That killed our momentum, and ultimately that helped the Buffalo Bills pull away during this game. Now, of course, since I'm talking about Matt Ryan, I feel like it is more than appropriate to address the elephant in the room the whole season. You guys have heard me say this the whole year. Matt Ryan, in this game at least, has had a subpar performance. 13 for 23, 197 passing yards, a very average performance for a very average quarterback year for Matt Ryan. Now, Matt Ryan, he's usually among the top 10-ish quarterbacks in the NFL when it comes to production. However, this year, Matt Ryan has been near that bottom range. Matt Ryan has not been great. He has been average at best, and that's how I can describe him. Matt Ryan is average at best this year, and of course, if the Atlanta Falcons have any aspirations in winning with Matt Ryan as their starting quarterback, Matt is simply going to have to play better going into next year, and of course, maybe even in the last game this season. However, the Falcons have already been eliminated from playoff contention, so I won't say it doesn't matter, but it's definitely not going to help us right now. Now, of course, we have to move on from Matt Ryan and go to this Atlanta Falcons rushing game. Now, of course, the rushing game for the Atlanta Falcons was actually really good. The Atlanta Falcons ran for a total of 96 yards, and they had 22 attempts, so that's pretty good yardage per attempt if you're looking at that little statistic. And Mike Davis even pitched in and scored 1 touchdown, I believe led our team in rushing yards. The rushing game for the Falcons over the last couple of weeks has been increasing. I think the rushing game has definitely gotten better over the last course of the season. I do think there's still room for it to improve. However, as a whole, I feel like the Atlanta Falcons team has definitely improved in this aspect of the game when it comes to running the football. Now, going into a different aspect of the game, we've got to talk about receiving the football. Now, of course, one of the most exciting prospects to ever come out of the University of Florida, yeah, you guys know who I'm talking about, Atlanta Falcons unicorn of a tight end, Kyle Pitts, has become the first tight end since Mike Ditka in a lot of years. It's been a long time. The first tight end since Mike Ditka to receive for 1,000 yards in his rookie season. Russell Gage also pitched into this game with 50 yards during this game. Kyle Pitts came out with an injury. He had 69 total yards, but that was enough. Kyle Pitts is an absolute monster, man. I feel like he's going to be the best tight end in the NFL in a couple of years. Of course, Russell Gage, he is a very good receiver. He's definitely stepped up with the absence of Calvin Ridley, something that I will get to a little bit later into this video. However, it is absolutely amazing to see Kyle Pitts and what he's been able to do this season, especially given the fact that he hasn't started the whole time. He's still trying to find his position. Yeah, he has 1 touchdown, but he's a Pro Bowler, 1,000 yards, well-deserved Pro Bowl season for Kyle Pitts. I think he has a bright future as an Atlanta Falcon, or even on any team. He has a bright future in the NFL. Now, of course, going to the next aspect of this Atlanta Falcons game, we have to look at the offensive line. The Atlanta Falcons offensive line was pretty terrible. It was not very great to watch. The O-line has been a huge problem for the Atlanta Falcons all season, believe it or not. This game, in particular, they allowed 5 sacks, 6 tackles for loss, and Matt Ryan was hit a whopping 8 times. The Atlanta Falcons offensive line during the offseason, they are going to have to improve. If you want to win at the NFL level, and you guys have heard me say this plenty of times, if you want to win at the NFL level, you're going to have one thing. That is an offensive line. If you want to have a great offense, you need a great offensive line. The Atlanta Falcons offensive line has not been very good, and that indicates their problems with sometimes running the ball and throwing the ball. It indicates how Matt Ryan is always under pressure. This is something that has to improve, and the Atlanta Falcons have to work on this during the offseason if they plan on even getting close to contending during next year. Now, of course, going to the defense, switching aspects of the game, switching sides of the ball, the Atlanta Falcons defense, while they did allow 29 points, they did better than you actually may think. Josh Allen was forced into throwing 3 interceptions, and the coverage overall was very, very good for the Atlanta Falcons. Now, one guy in particular I want to talk about when it comes to coverage is, in my opinion, one of the biggest Pro Bowl snubs of the year, Atlanta Falcons cornerback A.J. Tyrell. Now, I will be honest with you. I was not high on A.J. Tyrell when he got picked in the draft, and I was wrong for that. A.J. Tyrell is playing like a top 5 corner in the league this year. Whether you're biased or not, you have to admit it. A.J. Tyrell is one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL in his in his second season. He is an absolute beast. He really, really knows when to bait. He really knows when to go and get the ball. He's a guy who can really stick to your receiver, a guy who can keep up with some of the best wide receivers in the entire game. I think A.J. Tyrell is one of the best cornerbacks in the league, and this is coming from a guy who wasn't very high on him when he came out of the draft. I think A.J. Tyrell is doing really good this season. Huge Pro Bowl snub. However, getting into the bigger things, the Atlanta Falcons' overall pass coverage was pretty good. Now, going into the run defense, which was the real problem for the Atlanta Falcons this game. The Atlanta Falcons' run defense was, in short term and in basic terms, very, very terrible. They allowed 233 rushing yards and 4 rushing touchdowns. Very weak performance for this Atlanta Falcons rushing defense. And given the fact that the Falcons have 2 of the top linebackers in the league, in my opinion, and Deion Jones and Forsythe Aluakon, 2 guys who are super underrated at their positions, this was pretty surprising. The Atlanta Falcons have not been a bad rushing defense all year. And to see the Buffalo Bills absolutely just carve us up all day long, it was like they could get anything they wanted. I don't know if it was the weather. I don't know if it was the personnel. I don't know if it was fatigue. However, the Atlanta Falcons rushing defense played absolutely terrible, and it's pretty unexcusable to allow 233 rushing yards to any team, whether at home or away. Now, of course, going into the main points, Atlanta sits at 7-9 for the season. They have been eliminated from playoff contention. It was really, really tough. Now, going to the Calvin Ridley situation a little bit, he says he wants a new start and a fresh start. So Calvin Ridley actually wants out of Atlanta. I don't know how this situation is going to transpire. However, I could see the Atlanta Falcons trading him. You have an emerging very, very good tight end / wide receiver / unicorn in Kyle Pitts. You have a couple of number 1 targets maybe emerging. Of course, Russell Gage has emerged into one of the better wide receivers on this team, one of the better wide receivers in the division, if you ask me. Of course, the Falcons can also get another outside threat in the draft if they need to. However, I feel like they should work on that offensive line. However, that's for the Calvin Ridley situation. He did struggle with his mental health. We wish him nothing but the best over here at On the Mic. I wish him nothing but the best. I feel like he's a very great and talented player. And Calvin Ridley, whether you stay in Atlanta or leave Atlanta, I wish you the best for your career. But getting more into the Atlanta Falcons, this first year under this coaching rebuild, if you will, under Arthur Smith, in my opinion, went about as good as you can expect it to be. Kyle Pitts has emerged as one of the better tight ends in the league in his first year. Players, like Cordell Patterson have really, really blossomed under this new offense that the Atlanta Falcons are running. Russell Gage has blossomed under this offense we're running late into the season. And I can look forward to us. And I want you guys, Atlanta Falcons fans and NFL fans, I want you guys to look forward to the Atlanta Falcons making a pretty good playoff run next season or maybe the season after. I think the Falcons are a great team. If they keep this team together, if they keep rebuilding, and if they keep this head coach, I believe this team can be one of the best in the NFL in a very, very short while. I think the Atlanta Falcons are talented. I think we are doing great with our rebuild, and I honestly think we have a great coaching staff with us. Now, of course, going into next week, I'm not going to waste too much time on this. Next week, got the New Orleans Saints. I'm going to be basic with y'all. I'm going to keep it 100. This game is 100% meaningless. The Saints are still fighting for playoff chances, so it'd be really good to knock our rivals out of the playoffs, you know what I'm saying? Pull a little ruin your season type stuff. However, you never want to aim to lose, but if we do lose, we could get a higher draft pick. I think the Atlanta Falcons, once again, should continue their rebuild. I would not be surprised if Matt Ryan and Calvin Ridley were both traded during the offseason. I don't think either of these players are bad, but I do think they maybe don't fit our rebuild too much. I think the Atlanta Falcons are going more for a younger approach, a younger strategy, and that's why I wouldn't be surprised if some of our older guys got traded. The Falcons need to go get some O-linemen, get some D-linemen. We have a lot of weaknesses on our team, but A.J. Tyrell, Kyle Pitts, Russell Gage, Cordell Patterson, all guys who are really blossomed for us under this new system this year. I'm really glad as an Atlanta Falcons fan. I am very optimistic. I think there's a lot to look forward to as an Atlanta Falcons fan. But of course, that's going to be the end of this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, turn that notification bell, help me out a little bit. Of course, I have TikTok, Spotify, Instagram, my audio podcast. All those links will be in the description. So go click on those links for me. You guys go help me out a little bit. But of course, whether you help me out or not, I wish that you stay loved and stay blessed. And without further ado, I'm going to end my video. But in this video, thank you for watching.